for you, some exciting stuff. Welcome back to the Cosas Verde show. We're going to cover Bitcoin, Ethereum, a bunch of altcoins. We're going to get the fun stuff today. And again, for anybody newer to my live shows, I want to give you a heads up that when you're asking questions, I typically, first off, I address them after I do Bitcoin and Ethereum. So give me 25 minutes to do those both until 6:25, 6:30. And then once I scroll down the list of questions that pile up, I typically only have time to address the ones that have the emblem next to it, my tier members. I usually have enough tier members on here asking questions to take up another 45 minutes of time. I don't want to take this one all the way to 7th or an hour and a half long, but just a heads up, I'll probably cut myself off at 7:15 my time here in an hour and 15 minutes, and I usually only have enough time to get the tier members' questions. Sometimes I get a really good question that I think everybody can benefit from a non-community member, and I'll give that priority as well. So super chat / loyalty and Cryptillion tier members get the dibs on that. And then also my Discord folks, they just ask me questions on the Discord with their microphone. So that's the difference between the tiers is you get my live So I just got off a call from VIPs. You know, video, they don't turn on their video very much, but just asking me questions with microphone as opposed to typing, which is a little bit less personal. So just a heads up, that's how I run my live shows here. It looks like Bitcoin over the last 2 days was simply whales taking out stop liquidity before a big drive down. It looks like what's happening. And right now, very similar thing happening is a lot of traders breaking or trading this breakdown of this horizontal because they don't have this blue line here. This blue line is my origin line. Most traders don't know that exists, right? So most people were trading this, they set their stops there, and all that Bitcoin did, the whales just take them out, but they have a limit to that, and I've gone over this on my channel before. Whenever you have an aggressive move down, it doesn't matter if it's 10%, a Wyckoff drop or whatever. It's just as long as you see it aggressive, the first move up to the 4-hour 10, which is that red line, especially even the first two, but particularly the first one, that's where it stops. Almost every time. It's among the highest probability trades there is. But what it does is there are so many retail people with a decent size amount of money over the world who are trading breakdowns. So breakdown, breakout traders, and their stops are right here. So the whales have permission to take out all their stops so they can take on positions, but their limit to that is roughly the 4-hour 10 EMA, sometimes as high as the 4-hour 21, which is a little higher. But that's all that's happening right now. And so I'm going to show you in this video here today, this orange line right here. This is going to be a big deal. I think this orange line vertical, given that it is when the next daily candle opens, that's when that's going to tell you when Bitcoin's finally going to break below my origin line, which is where price is bouncing exactly. And I'm going to tell you why that is. So are you ready? Let's go get some Bitcoin. Alrighty. This orange line is when the next daily candle opens. Daily candle opening / closing, so it's simultaneous, right? It's a fluid transition. That's when volatility picks up. But it's not just at the line, it's 1 hour prior to 1 hour after. So that the span is a 2 hour let me zoom in a little bit more to get this more precise. So that is at 7. Well, that's strange. Oh, I have this at 8:15. There we go. Okay, now it's in the middle. All right. So in this zone, and let me zoom out. No, too much. I'm having some difficulties here managing my chart. Sorry. And let's make it so it's understandable. Here we go. All right, so this is all the stuff that's in play. This is the time axis. I don't think the origin line, so let me label the origin line more clearly. Boom. Okay, so what is happening right now is that this 4-hour 10 is the limitation, essentially, that whales can take out the liquidity of stops from people doing breakdown trading from this horizontal right here. Okay, people who traded that, they just took them all out essentially, and because their stops of a short is a buy. In order to limit sell, or in order to market sell, right, you have to have limit buys there, or market buy, or limit buys or stop market buys. And so the buys are the people from shorting because that's what their stops are. So whales know that they can drive it up into there, but they also know other big players, other big whales and algos they're going to become sellers above the 4-hour 10. And I promise you, not financial advice, but if you wanted one easy trade, it's after an aggressive move down. Doesn't have to be a big. It could be a 2% move down, as long as it happens fast. The first time price hits the 4-hour 10, you don't have to do it right at it. You can do some above, some at, some below. It's just shy of the 4-hour 10, but that 4-hour 10, it's just the easiest way. It's the easiest short setup out there. I'm telling you, and again, this is not financial advice. For me, it's the easiest. It's literally the highest probability one. And usually I try it twice. But this drop right behind me is not big enough. So it was aggressive, and here, let me zoom in. It was aggressive and fast enough, yes, but it wasn't large enough for me to want to try it twice. So usually on the second time, I would try it again, maybe even after a lower low. So you get a lower low, try it again. That's usually a safe play too. But if price can't make a lower low before hitting it a second time, I would not try it a second time. I wouldn't I wouldn't add on to my position again or whatever. I wouldn't go double down or anything. But if it makes a new low, if I were to take profits down here and it came all the way back up as this red line goes it hits the origin line, actually that'd be a pretty high that'd be a pretty good trade actually. I probably would try that. But and again, this is me. I'm talking about myself and how I'm reading the charts and trying to put together what is making price move is all based on how whales make money. And once you start, understanding that, just realize they make patterns too. Incentive is mappable. You're essentially getting a map of of incentive of large players. That's it. And they're taking advantage of retail traders in bulk. And so once you start seeing price like that, which I didn't start seeing that like that until just last year. I was already a YouTuber for 3 months. And then I embarrassed myself by not catching the Wyckoff drop, right? I didn't see it coming with Ethereum and Cardano screaming up. I even famously said, I don't think Bitcoin will go under 50K again. And probably 2 days later, that's when it went down to 29K, in an hour. But because I wasn't thinking like a whale, and I didn't realize at that time, whales are dictating price. It's 90% of the transaction volume, particularly during a bear market. During retail season, it's probably only 70%. But so literally what's moving price right now, it's just all algos taking advantage of the small amount of retail traders pissing around with Bitcoin. That's all that's happening. But it makes patterns. But in order to understand the patterns and anticipate them, you have to think, how are whales going to make money? They're going to make money from retail traders. So therefore, you have to know, what are retail traders doing? How do they trade? Where are their stops? That's it. You want to make money the way that the whales do. But the only thing is, it's actually better if you're thinking that way, because you don't have to risk your money by buying Bitcoin on spot to get it up there. You're just waiting for them to do the work. So anyway, that's how I'm viewing price. Do I get everything right all the time? No. But recently I've been doing a pretty good job, I feel. So that's what I'm looking at. And now once this breaks down, which I'm highly confident that it will. Well, am I? Let me see how confident. Let me be more careful with my words. I am confident. I'm not highly confident. I think this is I think there's a very tradable edge here that Bitcoin will go below this blue line at least by 9 p.m. New York. By this line, it will. I think it's going to happen actually a little earlier. Because what I think, if I had to make one single guess, and again, I like to make 3 guesses. I like to make 3. So there's more chance I can show off later and clip that part of the video and say, ha, I told you, right? Anyway, I like to make 3 guesses. Not just for showboating, because I like to be prepared. Because sometimes the third most probable, that's what plays out. And sometimes that's what plays out because I mislabel it as the third most probable because I missed something. But I usually get the price right with 3 tries. And I'm ready for each of them to happen, right? It's not just so I can go back and clip the video later, and even though that helps, that's fun. But I try to only do that if it was my first most probable. So I try to be fair with that stuff. Anyway, but if I had to make a first most probable guess, if I had to make one guess, I think Bitcoin price by about this orange line or a little before. So this is 7 p.m. New York time today. Okay, so just like a little bit after this, honestly. Wait, no. Oh, I have that for tomorrow. Shit, I have that on the wrong freaking day. This is me being retarded. It wouldn't be a first. And sorry if that word is insensitive to some people. I apologize. All right, so good thing I looked at that. All right, here we go. So I think around this first orange line is when Bitcoin is going to break below this blue line. And again, so the origin line is at about 19,830 right now. I think whales are going to want to make money by driving price below around that time. Maybe even going as heavy as like 19K even. So I think it could go down as, I think it can go as low as 19 even. And then I think it's going to go up and take out the stops from everybody shorting the breakdown of this horizontal. Let me put another line at market open tomorrow, because they time this stuff. Their algorithms apply the right amount of buy pressure to make this timed perfectly. I'm telling you, you can see it in the charts. Their algos literally, like, you know how you bake something, you bake it at the right temperature. Well, their moves, they're baking a cake. They do it at the right speed and the right amount of sell pressure. I'm telling you, like, it's all about the market open and then the daily candle close. You need you need vertical lines on your chart a lot. Right, especially for new people, you need to just, and it would probably be helpful if you just marked 9:30 a.m. New York time, so market open for US, on your Bitcoin chart for the next like 8 weeks, almost like scheduling out a calendar. Just mark it with a vertical line, so it's just already there, and then do the same thing for 8 p.m. New York when the daily candle closes. Honestly, I can't believe I've never heard that advice before. Almost like using it as a calendar, and I've never given that advice. That's honestly really good advice. I might do that shit. I'm going to take it. I'm going to do it. Anyway, but so the timing of this, if I had to make one specific guess, anticipating whale movement, I don't know how low it's going to go, but I would guess 19K. And then I think it's going to have to do a double. So they're going to have to time it for this. They want the top of the backfill timed for this, because I think after this next orange line over here, that's when it's going to go back down, or something like that. See here, boom, it's going to hang out here, go like this, boom, 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 and then it could actually spike up, grab even more people, maybe liquidate the 50x and high leverage people, and give the markets time to get their morning rally over, and then it heads down. So something like that. And let me make this a more visible color. Let me make it like this. So if I had to make one specific price path guess, that's it. And so this line here is Wednesday, New York time, 9:30 a.m. And a lot of times before the traditional market goes down, it likes to rally up. People just love to trade up in the stock market, especially at 9:30. So because whales know that's what people like to do, sometimes they allow them to do it and do it with them, and then trap them and then bring it down. That's just how it works. A lot. So I would so this might need to be moved this way. It might happen all like this. So it might go down right at market open, and so it might be a little off like this if this were to pan out. But just give me a little bit of wiggle room here if this is what actually happens, right? So if I had to make one guess for you, this is it. So you can pause the video, snapshot it. And again, I'm recording this, and I'll upload it for a Bitcoin video later from the live stream. So you can have a second chance to snapshot this. But this is my first main guess over the next 12 hours. And I'll put some price points. So I think this area could go down to 19. I think tomorrow it can go back as high as 20K, smack it on the head. All right, so or it'll probably get rejected by the origin line. Failure, just in a baby failure pattern above. I don't think it'll go much above 19,920. Yeah, I don't think it'll go too much over that origin line. And that's my first guess. If I had to make a second guess over the next 12-ish, 14 hours or so, I don't think this is going to be, I don't think price is getting over this, over 20,000. I don't think in the top three scenarios that Bitcoin gets over this line before this orange line. I don't think that'll happen. So all three of my guesses, none of my top three guesses will involve price getting above this over the next 12 hours. So I want to be, so I'll kind of forego the exact shape price will take, but for the next two, but just in general, for my next two guesses, I would not guess anything over this line. However, that does not mean Ethereum can't spike up. Dash won't though. Ethereum's being treated like a hot alt right now because the news and the one after the merge happens, it'll move more with Bitcoin, and it'll move less like Atom, which it just gets hot out of nowhere, and Matic and all that shit, right? But so Ethereum's moving like a big cap alt right now. And the reason I'm saying this is because of Bitcoin dominance. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance real fast. So just because until Bitcoin goes below this line, so this is my origin line, right? And if you're new to my channel, I'm not going to zoom out and show you, but these go back 12 years in price history. And for some reason, even on the 5-minute candles, price just loves it exactly, even though they're 12 years old. I call it origin line because 13 years old now, because it goes back to the origin of price, okay? And you'll only find those on my channel. Nobody else on YouTube uses them because I essentially made them up. But they work. It kind of sounds bad when I say I made them up. I'm just pulling this shit out of my ass, people. Right? No, but they work. They work very precisely, as weird as that is. But I don't think alts, so until Bitcoin breaks below this origin line, which right now is about 19.8 or so, alts have permission to go up because look what Bitcoin dominance is doing. So Bitcoin dominance has gone, I need the 12-hour chart. Bitcoin dominance is too deep in my triangle. So until this point right here is hit, alts have permission to fly. So this is, see how I have an origin line here? Actually, it's pretty dark. There we go. Now you can see them. All right. So it needs to hit this origin line before Bitcoin really dives. Because when Bitcoin goes down, Bitcoin dominance always goes up, right? Therefore, Bitcoin will not tank down until that line is hit. It's seriously that easy. So again, it is mandatory, right? That if Bitcoin drops hard, then Bitcoin dominance goes up. As of now, that statement should be true for the next like 3 to 4 years. This next whole market cycle, it's probably going to be true until other alts I don't know the word, but they separate. It's something like bifurcated or something. I'm not a technical person from the traditional markets. I don't know all the fancy words, but until alts are separated from Bitcoin, it's going to be an accurate statement. So I would expect that this line is hit right when you can expect a bigger drop in price. That doesn't include the mapped out price path I just took. I think Bitcoin, dominance might wiggle around here, and tomorrow morning at 9:30 is when I think this could be hit, this line. So let me put a pin in this so you can see the exact levels that this would be. Let me zoom in a little bit more. So somewhere around 39.75%. Yeah. Honestly, it looks like it might happen soon. Shit. Ugh. Yeah, because when it bounces, because this is not this is not a bull market. This is not so this also goes up at the beginning of bull markets before alt season begins, because Bitcoin just it starts the run, right? So this goes up under two circumstances. When Bitcoin's skyrocketing up faster than everything else at beginning of bull markets, and this goes up, which it's probably going to bounce from here, right? So if it bounces, it goes up. So, but it also goes up when Bitcoin dumps, because Bitcoin dumps less on a percentage basis than alts that lose a lot more value. Therefore, this goes up. So honestly, this is saying Bitcoin might drop harder. It has a chance to drop hard before 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. It's getting kind of close, but these are 12-hour. Yeah, these are 12-hour candles, so maybe not. So it is kind of suggesting tomorrow or later that the big drop will happen. So when I made that price path on Bitcoin, I would not consider that the big drop. So let me go back to the 15-minute chart. Yeah, this would not be the big drop. I'm talking that would. Let me get rid of the stuff here. There we go. I'm talking about that would bounce when you get a big drop like that, like down to 17.5. That is when Bitcoin's going to hit that target on Bitcoin dominance. I don't think this drop overnight down to my bounce zone, if I could put the live charts to, so that bounce zone right there, I don't think that's going to actually trigger it. Does that make sense? Because those were 12-hour candles. It might actually be a little bit later in the week is kind of what that's saying. And those are all my thoughts on Bitcoin. So I'm going to cover Ethereum price next. And again, if you're watching the recording of this, definitely check out check out my Twitter. It's Costas Verdes with the number 2 afterward. I post some pretty bomb charts on altcoins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and traditional markets, so you can stay in tune with the market. And the YouTube tiers, the Cryptillion YouTube tier is essentially like a Discord Cryptillion tier without the direct live interaction with the microphone and video camera. And you also get first dibs on the YouTube live chats and 15 to 30 daily updates a week, plus recordings of the Cryptillion videos that we do on Discord, and links to Discord with visual instructions on how to join in the description section of all my videos. So let's go ahead and get to Ethereum. Up at 625. I'm getting pretty hot. Let me take a look at Ethereum price. Trying to figure, 15-minute candles look good. Okay. So Ethereum price is a little tougher right now, honestly, because let me turn this on. All right. Okay. Until the Ethereum merge has finally been completed, I believe in September 20th, September 16th, something to that effect. Until that has happened, Ethereum price is being moved by big players as if it were a large cap hotter alt like your Atoms and Matics. Okay, so there was a time in late June or July where Ethereum raced up 20% in 30 minutes, right? And so the reason I'm saying this is for two main reasons. First, it's a little bit more wiggly and squirmy than it typically is. All right, because there's more retail interest in it. And whales are using that liquidity, essentially screwing just taking people stops. So more squirrely stuff is happening. And in order to get more retail stops, it's got to go up higher to grab it, right? So it's acting more squirrely. But the second point about that is it moving more like an Atom or a Matic, where it just spikes up really fast, more than anything else, especially monetary coins like Dash. It's just, those are squirrely coins. Is because Bitcoin dominance is going down still. It has not bounced. So until Bitcoin dominance is in an uptrend, at least on a 1-hour chart, Ethereum has permission to move up when Bitcoin doesn't. It usually doesn't have permission, but because of the merge news, more retail interest, that drives more whale bots to go screw people, just essentially take advantage of them with the liquidity and stops that they're making. and Bitcoin dominance is going down. Ethereum. So if Bitcoin does not go below my origin line, right, from my Bitcoin video. And again, if you are watching this video, you need to go watch my Bitcoin recorded video from this live stream today on Tuesday the 30th, which the shelf life of this analysis is probably going to be about 2 to 3 days. But until Bitcoin is below that origin line, Ethereum can pop up to 1595 or even 1620 when Bitcoin doesn't move up at all. I want you to be very aware of that. All right. Am I guaranteeing that's exactly what's going to happen? No, but look at the difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin right now. Let's take everything off. Bare naked chart with 1 EMA, the 4-hour 10 EMA. What is Ethereum doing relative to the 4-hour 10 EMA? It's on top of it. Well, technically, it just went below, right? As I said, it's like I jinxed it. But it was on top of it, right? But what is Bitcoin doing relative to its 4-hour 10 EMA? It got rejected by it. So Bitcoin is going below that origin line now. So if it can't wiggle back up, then Ethereum won't have permission. So as of right now, Ethereum does not have permission to skyrocket up. Bitcoin would have to get back above the origin line. It just won't, for some reason, whale algos know about this line. Even if the people who programmed it don't know about it, the whale algos know about it. So they're not going to make Ethereum squirrely right now in this moment. But if Bitcoin gets it back above here and just, hangs out above this origin line and under the 4-hour 10, and this could happen for how many hours? Look, so from here to here, that's 13 hours. That's until tomorrow's market open, because this 4-hour 10 could just go do like that, and Bitcoin could hang out here, essentially wicking above, wicking below, above, below for 13 hours, and that gives Ethereum enough time. Go back to Ethereum. That gives it enough time to go as high as 1620. And because I'm very confident that Bitcoin will not get above my white line, which I provided in my Bitcoin analysis, I'm also very confident that Ethereum over the next day will not go above 1620. But I think there is permission, as long as Bitcoin gets a little bit back, just a hair above that origin line, because Bitcoin dominance is dropping. Ethereum can't hit this out of the blue for no reason, and it can happen on a 5-minute candle. I'm telling you, it can happen. So be ready for the possibilities. Now, is that a cue for you to try to go long? Hell no. I think the market's getting ready to drop this week, and it's going to be, I think this whole week is going to be nasty with, humps and valleys, due to whales taking out recent shorters, stops, essentially. But this is not a cue to go long, right? But I'm letting you know, if you're somebody trading with futures and you're short, just realize that Ethereum does have the power to go up on a 5-minute candle when Bitcoin does absolutely nothing, as long as Bitcoin's above the origin line. So be careful. Ethereum is harder to play right now. It's harder to play than Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is more boring to play. So pick your poison right now. I'm not playing Ethereum. I'm not pissing with Ethereum on futures until the merge is over, because then it'll be more predictable again. But right now, Ethereum's tough. And so that's more non-financial Pokemon card advice for you. If you're somebody who trades on futures, just realize you're probably going to have better luck on something that's not Ethereum. Ethereum is hard as shit to play right now. Okay? And that's so the downside targets for Ethereum, if Bitcoin behaves the way I anticipate, I think Ethereum could, over the next 13 hours, it's either going to hit this zone here, which are clearly labeled, or it could go as low as 1430 before market open on Wednesday, the 31st. I would say that 1456 is probably a good target. I think it's going to take another wave down on as the Wednesday traditional markets are open and SPX goes down. I don't think Ethereum's going to go. Well, I'm very confident Ethereum, until SPX opens and goes down, Ethereum will hold 1430 until then. So I don't see that happening. And again, that's not a long signal for you. Okay. It'd be a counter trend trade, but, I would not, I'm not recommending anybody take action on this. I'm giving you, my words on what to anticipate, but, I could see overnight. So the night of Tuesday, the 30th, okay, for the Western world, particularly not Australia, for the Western world, because Australia is already awake right now, or waking up at 6:30 a.m., 7:30 a.m. But, for the Western world, tonight, I would see Ethereum down to 1456 or 14 in that $10 range to 66, maybe as low as 1430. And then around market open, I expect it to try up one more time and then break through later this week. Maybe Thursday, maybe even Wednesday, maybe Friday, but that's kind of my anticipation. And again, this will make a lot more sense if you watch my bit. So for the people not watching the stream, for the folks watching the recording of this, this analysis will make so much more sense if you watch the Bitcoin video first. I did not piece this together appropriately for folks who are just racing to an Ethereum video. You got to watch that Bitcoin video first, and I might actually just, so I'm going to end this one, so click here to watch the Bitcoin video, and that'll bring everything full circle for you, and that's Ethereum for you. All right. Okay, so now let's get to some questions. I'm going to turn on my damn air conditioner. I cannot wait till September hits. You know, the Midwest and the United States, just, gosh, September and early October are windows open months. So alongside April 5th, April 20th to June 1st, roughly, is also window open season. And where I live. Okay, yep, that's good. I'm dying of thirst. And also, thank you everybody for being here. For the algo, if you can just hit thumbs up for me as I'm reading through your questions, I would greatly appreciate it. You don't have to go as far as leave an emoji comment down below. I mean, or no, you can't do that. It's a live chat, so fuck. What am I even thinking? But yeah, hit the thumbs up for me as I'm trying to look at some of these questions. All right, I'll be watching this in the morning. Missed this OTA. Oh, so he's already gone. Yeah, one of my regulars OTA, or Olor Run Femi, him. He's already out. So. Could you go over Ape and Metis? I'll be watching when I wake up. Okay, all right, we'll do that first. You're gonna hear my air conditioner in the background, though. Okay, so Ape. Ooh, Ape is trapped under the 4-hour 10. It's gonna stay under the 4-hour 10. It's not. I don't think it's getting back above. So I don't think Ape will go over. Yeah, this is not acting like a hot alt like Adam. So this, honestly, big money is not playing with this, and they're not screwed. Honestly, this looks like it's pretty volatile, but it doesn't look like big money tries to screw retail on this one too much. This looks like it's volatile based off retail, which means it's probably low liquidity. What's the trading volume on this? But it looks volatile and predictable, which means why the hell aren't I trading it? But it might be because the liquidity's low and you can't get in and out where you want. Let me see here. Coin market cap. Okay, Ape. God, so much Ape stuff out there. Market cap. Oh, so it's 1.5. So it's gonna have good liquidity. Wow. Fuck. Why aren't I trading this? Huh. Damn. Okay, well, I haven't looked at this chart in a while, but when I approach a new chart, I like to get my bearing straight with the weekly 10 and the daily 10. And I'm going to throw on the 1 hour 200 as my daily 10. It's the same thing in crypto. And traditional markets, the 1 hour 200, because the market's open and closed too much, it's actually different from the daily 10. But in crypto, since it's 24/7, 365, it's the same. It's mathematically the same thing. But if you go to SPX, it is different. Just a heads up. Yeah, it's not gonna fly up. Lower lows, lower highs. You're trapped under the daily 10. It has a potential to wiggle above the orange line after this horizontal right here is hit, if Bitcoin isn't going down. So once this area right here is hit, then it has the potential to wiggle up and touch the weekly 10, the red line, for a retest before then going down. So price. Weekly 10. And again, it could just crash through here. So what I'm specifically saying is it has a chance to get over the orange line after this is hit. I'm not saying it will, but the main point of this is this looks bearish. I see lower lows coming, and I don't think any local higher highs and higher lows on the 1 hour. So I'm on the 1 hour chart. I don't think that'll happen until after this hits. Will it happen? Will it bounce from here? I think it has a strong chance, but until that's hit, it's going to be down. And so percentage from there is 12%. That's honestly a big move. Yeah, it's going to stay under the daily 10. It's with an extremely high likelihood, percentage wise, but it could wick above it, and that could smoke you if you're shorting this on big leverage. Like, look, a spike above, boom, 7% move. That could easily happen on this shit. I mean, look at this. Boom. Grabbing stops and screwing people and then going down. And then retesting this orange line perfectly. See how good this works? Look at that. Bam. So I don't want anybody to anticipate, hey, 50x leverage, Costa said 12% move. Well, you could get smoked on it. It has permission to wick above it. It's simply not going to get above and stay above in the idea that it starts getting a positive slope. Does that make sense? But it could spike up on you 7% and then liquidate your ass on 50x leverage, or even 20x leverage. You'd probably get liquidated on a 7% move up if you market sold now. You'd get smoked real bad. Therefore, I'm trying to be very specific with what I'm saying and trying to protect any viewer/listener who might interpret my words 12% down as in short now. I'm not saying that. You can get smoked. It has permission to wick up 7 to 8% before hitting this. It simply does not have permission to get above and stay above the orange line. It has to hit this first before it can even have a chance. All right, so that's Ape and Metis. Well, since OTA isn't here, I probably will have time to hit other questions because he usually asks like 8 questions. So OTA takes full freaking advantage of the value he's getting out of the Cryptillion tier on YouTube. Trust me. Anyway, but since he's not going to be here to ask 8 questions, I might be able to get to non-members' questions today. All right. Metis. Okay. So I did a failure pattern above my resistance zone. Haven't looked at this. Yeah, this is pretty bearish. So right now it is trying to find support at that wick and that wick. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Let me go to the 1 hour chart. Yeah, this is better. So you should be able to see this pretty well. All right, so right now price is trying to find this wick and this wick as support is what's happening. And once it breaks below there, it should go straight to... It's going to here. That's where it's going next. So I will put a pin in this. So once $29 is broken fully, then you're going to have a swift move down to 2180. And that move from current price is 30. Wow, that's will it bounce before then? No, I mean, that's structurally, that's where it's going to go. You could have some lower highs along the way, so it might not be like this, right? It could be like, something like that. It might not just all be in one move down. You might have some, I imagine you get a baby bounce at this guy, but it will extremely likely, once this 29 is broken, it's going to want to touch this before any new local highs are made or a 1 hour uptrend is formed. So once $29 is broken, I don't think it has a good chance to form a 1 hour uptrend until 2180 is hit. That's an easy way to put it. All right, here we go. New questions. Cody Hurst, nice to see you here again. Hey, Tim, when you get the altcoins, could you maybe cover Sologenic, ticker Solo? Oh no, I'm thinking of Silo. Okay, it's like Solo. That can't be. Like Silo is one of my altcoins. All right, now Solo for bottom bear market target. Yeah, sure. Solo, Han Solo. Okay, just realize I'm looking at these exchanges. They're all small exchanges. So if there's not going to be liquidity in the bear market. So don't market buy with more than so not financial advice, Pokemon cards only for solo Pokemon cards. You can't market buy with more than $300 at a time because you're going to move even a $300 purchase with this type of thing in the bear market. It's going to move it up 4 to 5%. So be very, and so as I give you these bottom targets, my guesses at least, the educated guesses, you're going to have to do it with limit sells, and you're going to have to make them small, like $20 or not limit sells, limit buys. And they're going to need to be small limit buys as to not create a floor to bounce off of. Because if you put $1,000 order right there, it's probably not going to fill. It might scrape it and take like $100 of your order, but then it's going to bounce, right? So this is not going to have good liquidity. You need to. So if there's a bottom target, you need limit buys above it and below it. Like you have to create a cascade, like thin. You have to thin up your liquidity, almost like barbers or beauticians. Sometimes they'll take somebody's hair and have one of those hair thinners where it's like it scrapes like the end or whatever. I don't know really why they do it, but one of those, that's what you need to do to your limit buys if you're trying to buy this. It's not going to have good liquidity, so just heads up. And again, also heads, yeah, you can tell by the candles. Look, yeah, you can't market buy this probably even more than $150. Yeah, so don't try to hit market. Now watch, if I go back in time, I almost guarantee you that we're going to see more than, I bet it's 3 or more. Yeah, 3 or more, just massive green wicks to the upside. I'm betting, because that's somebody taking $1,000 or $2,000 who doesn't know what market buy means and doesn't understand liquidity, and it went straight. Watch, here, let me zoom out. I almost guarantee it. I could be wrong. Oh, there's one. So somebody was trying to buy too much. It's not just one wick though, that's several candles. So somebody over the course of several hours was trying to purchase this. So this person understood liquidity to some degree, but not very well. They would have stopped buying here. That's weird. I wonder why that person or pump group. Well, it couldn't have been a pump group. There's not enough liquidity for a group to play this. Here's one right here. It's a wick down. So the candle ended green, but somebody sold it. And so somebody made like a $2,000 sale. That's what this is right here. So somebody sold about $2,000 worth all at once instead of market sell. If you just have to market sell on this kind of coin, you sell $100. Wait 30 seconds for the KuCoin bots or the Gate.io bots to essentially it's like if you sell $100 worth, that's essentially taking stuffing out of a pillow. The pillow's not as comfortable, right? And you have to, so if you want to sell $1,000 worth, what happens is you want to do $100 sell, wait for the bots to refill. You know, it's like a robot helper that, oh, you took out padding out of the pillow, let's put it back in there. All right, 30 seconds, boom, next $100. 30 seconds, okay, the little robots come, put the padding back in the pillow for you, but it's in the order book. So this person didn't understand that. Yeah, on these small coins, you can't deal with and even in a bull market, like $300, $350 at the most for any market orders, as much as you can do for coins under like 20 million market cap, even in a bull market. In a bear market, it's going to be less. So that's one right there. Honestly, I would suggest to you, gosh, I mean, don't make this like don't make this one you rely on. Like, this needs to be a moonshot coin for you, and you need to make sure that you don't plan for this to be more than 5% of your portfolio as you're scouting bottoms. I would suggest 2% or less. So moonshot coins need to be 2% or less of your portfolio. And if you make, 10 moonshot guesses, each 2%, then you still have 80% of your portfolio to buy large caps, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all that stuff, right? In a bear market. But it's good to throw down a little bit, 1 to 2% on some moonshot coins. Okay, so what this is doing At least it's orderly. So it's already below all that. Shit. Okay. There you go. 5 to 7 cents. And that's around February. That's only 60% down more. I would say this is extremely conservative and this is moderately conservative. It could go lower. So what you might do is take the average distance between these two and you would maybe buy in a zone like this. Watch. 12 hour. Here we go. Hell, damn it, Tim. All right. You might go like this. There you go. So your target for this, because capitulation, right? I could take it down a little lower. Yeah, so in that zone would be where I try to, it's a big range, but that's my educated guess on where it's going. Because it's following a pretty simple pattern. That's it. So if February is the bottom, or close to the bottom from the time axis, this is roughly where it's going to be. It's extremely likely to be there. Now, if we get a wicked sell-off, before February, and the bottom's before February, well, I still think it's going to be a wicked sell-off. So it'll still, in November, probably hit one of those levels. So that's accounting for an earlier bear market that gets an aggressive. So just like it went above this, an aggressive sell-off before February, it's going to go below it. It's still keeping these valid. So between 3.8 cents to 7.7 cents is my educated guess for that. All right. Quant. All right, I'm going to record this one. Yeah, Quant is one, if and when we have another capitulatory event and Quant happens to move down with it, which it's honestly not guaranteed. Quant is probably tied for the best or definitely within the top 3. Okay, actually, let me say this. Because Quant fans, if I open it up, the recording of the video, they're going to want to watch the whole thing because people love being bullish. People don't like it when I talk about their coin in a bearish sense, unless they're smart people who realize, wait, we want to buy it lower, but most people don't think that way. They want to hear up. So anyway, Quant is among the altcoins in crypto, one of the top 3, if not tied for the first, that is among the best candidates in all of crypto to have already bottomed. I don't even think Bitcoin is in the top candidates for have already bottomed. I don't think Bitcoin's bottomed, but similar to how Chainlink during last bear market, it was going up. I think it did like a 4x. It was slow and steady. It wasn't anything crazy sexy like Telcoin going up 33,000%. Obviously wasn't that. It was slow and steady, but it was the only thing in crypto that had already bottomed, before the rest of altcoins bottomed, as Bitcoin made a macro higher low at $4,000 during, March 2020, during coronavirus. So Quant is clearly broken out of this macro channel. And the date of this all-time high back here is September of 2021. And so this is a big, like the channel rules, the rules of the channel, because this is a macro channel, they're pretty solid rules. So, and because it's broken, so let me zoom into that part right there. Look how it very clearly went above it into horizontal resistance, a sell-off, but people became buyers at the previous top, which this line used to be resistance. Previous resistance comes future support. And it got bought up hard and blasted through the previous sell-off area. And because of that, I think it is possible that it never hits this line again. It honestly looks kind of probable. I think this might be a safe haven for crypto. And if Quant were to get that recognition for itself, that, hey, check out Quant. Obviously, it's among the top, prospects to do well in crypto in general, like to actually survive, right? Chainlink, Quant, like they're among, they're not the sexiest alts that YouTubers are going to say, it's going to make you a millionaire. People aren't going to say that about it. I don't know. I don't think it's ever going to have like a 10,000% run in a bull market, but during this bear market, it could be a snowball effect. If this is clearly one that's not going down with Bitcoin and all that, what do you think people are going to do? It's going to attract people to buy it more, and it's going to start going up, and it'll keep going up the whole bear market if that snowball effect were to be triggered. Where and what are the conditions of that? What's the threshold of that chemical reaction, psychology chemical reaction across the masses? What are the conditions of that? I actually don't know. I'm simply identifying Quant as it might be that and Chronos Tech or whatever. Those two coins have both done the same thing. They had a macro channel out of which they didn't just blast out of, but they blasted out of, made strong higher lows and higher highs on a daily chart. And they're probably not going back in their channel. Even Bitcoin is like, let's look for example. Look at Cardano. Even though I'm not picking on Cardano this bear market. So I'm still on Quant, but I'm comparing Quant to Cardano's macro channel because it's one of the few things that has a 300-day long channel. Take a look. So what do you think is the price path? So look, August of 2021. It's over. It's almost a year. It's a year long now. So I made this a while ago. Okay, so don't you think it's easier to guess where Cardano's going to be at a certain date than it is for Quant? Yeah, because it's in this channel and it's going to stay in it, right? And this is what crypto's doing. They're getting in a macro channel and they're staying in it. Everything is. Everything, even Bitcoin. Ethereum might have done something like this a few times, like gotten way over it, but it's coming back into it. And Ethereum is, if I had an Ethereum channel set up, I don't think I have a macro Ethereum channel set up. I usually deal with micro channels like this. But honestly, Carter, if you wanted to copy and paste this, honestly, here, let me stretch it out. Honestly, that would probably be a wise decision. Like, try to make yours look like the, let me make myself invisible here. And let me make this invisible. There you go. I suggest that you copy and paste this and try to do the same thing. Because it can help you, like, not only understand why Quant is a good candidate, but it could help, help you realize Cardano is actually pretty solid to trade. It's got great liquidity and it's pretty damn predictable. All right, so going back to Quant. Which chart was I using for Quant? Son of a gun. There we go. Do I have this saved on my chart? So going back to Quant, after a little bit of a rant for people who are a fan of this, but I'm not saying that just so you like this channel. I typically make people mad that I tell them their coin's going to go down, particularly Verasity fans. I will probably be buying Verasity in bear market, but guess what? I'm going to be buying it lower because I know it's going down, right? I don't like it so much that I'm blinded to the fact that it's going to go a lot lower. But this one truly, do I not know my ABCs, like Sesame Street stuff? Like what, where's Quant on my chart? I thought I had this bitch saved. Anyway, So short-term price action for Quant. I would say you have a key, this horizontal is actually not calibrated correctly. It needs to go down to here. So as long as Quant can stay in this zone from, let me make it a blue box. There we go. As long as it can stay in this zone, stay above specifically 84.67. If it can stay above 8, let me zoom in so you can see this bad boy. Let me go to the 4-hour chart, 1-hour chart, because you already know what the channel looks like now. So I can zoom way in, and you have the context. So as long as it can stay above roughly 84.40, 84 and change, then you're pretty solid. If it goes below there, then you don't have a lot of horizontals that can save it, as in, that's going to tell buyers to come in and buy it, because your next horizontal is going to be close already to this descending line here. So if 84 is broken, then you're likely going to hit this descending line or get damn close, okay? So I said it has a chance to not hit this line ever again. I actually think that's probably true. But the true test to that, and honestly, this might be the threshold. This might be it right here. The conditions for that snowball effect is if it can hold 84.50. So honestly, I think I figured it out just kind of walking through this, not having planned this video. If 84.50 holds that, and Bitcoin goes down to 18.5 or 17.5, then you're very likely gonna have a snowball effect. Will it happen in a week? No. It takes time for people to for the word to spread across the community, and then it's gonna take a while. At least several months, I would assume. But so 84.50 is that condition, I would say. But as you can see, the next place for horizontal traders to come in is right here. And honestly, that would still, it could actually wick. So if it goes, let me draw this. So I'm giving you more of a mid macro. I'm giving you a midterm time frame analysis, not a short term time frame. And hopefully you're okay with that. Yeah, you would wick below this. If it happens before, so if this line is broken before September, let me see. When does this get too far away? That's only 15%. So yeah, before September, if this line is broken before October 1st, then the top of the channel is very likely to be hit, but it's going to snap right back up here. Because this zone right here will form a black triangle, and not all the buyers will step in heavily there. So right there. And again, for new people, when I draw black objects on my chart, they're almost always hit. So you might want to draw the same damn thing. Literally, it's like it's over 50% hit rate. But this has a strong chance. Quant has a strong chance of being one of the, the handful of price action charts that don't hit it. It has a chance to hold this, even if Bitcoin goes down to 17.5. But before October 1st specifically, so this line is October 1st. If it falls below there, then this green line will be hit with an extremely high probability, because it's only it's only 10% below this next horizontal where buyers will be stepping in. So it'll go ahead and hit that, then it'll go like this. Actually, I'll show you. And I'm telling you, this is how price will move. It's in an if-then statement. If drop below 84.50 before October 1st, if below 84.50 before October 1st, then an if-then statement, then the top of this channel will be hit. If-then statement. But it'll come right back up into this box and then go like this. And then it'll retest up here. And I'll just leave this on the chart. And then I'll do another price path. It could go below here, retag the lows at that wick, but it can snap back up and just try to stay in here and stay. You son of a gun. So for this horizontal, so you need this stuff on your chart. So you need this horizontal at 84.50 roughly in here. So make a horizontal there. Because if Quant makes that threshold happen, it's gonna play around for months and months into that zone. Like it's just gonna hang out, right? As crypto goes down, it's gonna go sideways in the zone. But realize that you also need a secondary line, like a wick line. So to this zone, this blue box zone here, you need a wick line of where if it goes down there on a quick move, you're still not freaking out. It won't necessarily initiate the move all the way down to this point here. It won't necessarily initiate it. And it's all based off of this wick here because people will buy up that horizontal. So that's your secondary line. That's your wick line to this blue box. So you got a blue box and a blue line, and I'll label the line so you can get this all on your chart. I'm telling you, you need to put this on your chart. Again, I'm stressing, like put, you don't have to do my squiggly lines, but, all right, let me get rid of those real quick. Price path, there we go. Wait, I thought I just got rid of that. Boom. All right. And let me zoom out just a wee bit. You want your chart to have that stuff on it, including the vertical line on October 1st. Oh, I didn't label the wick line, sorry. So the wick line, it's okay if Quant wicks down to $77, it still has a 50-50 shot of getting back into this box. Does that make sense? Because buyers could easily step in because of that wick right there. So try to make your chart look like this. And you don't have to draw this guy down here. This was kind of my original guess of where it'll bottom out months ago. So you don't need this part. But these channels, try to make it like that. This blue box here starts at about 59.60, okay? And some change up. Wick line at 77.43. Blue box 112.46 to 84.50. And just try to imitate. So you can see how price action fits in the point of control lot, right? So just do your best to make these lines like that. And if you're a Quant fan, this is how having this on your chart is going to allow you to know what is happening at any moment in Quant, with Quant, literally. Because if it breaks 84.50, you know it's going at least to 77. And if it doesn't bounce at 77, well, yeah, if it can't get back into the box after hitting 77, you know it's going to hit 52.34 if it happens before October 1st. It's just a bunch of if-then statements. It's almost like binary code. Like, think like a robot. It's an if-then statement. They're only, for every one path, then two things could happen. Expect either one. You just know which one will happen at any time after any trigger. So our next trigger is when 84.50 is broken. Once that trigger happens, only two things. Wick line, it gets back in the box, or wick line, rejection from the box, and then come back down here in black triangle. If before then. But another binary code thing, if 84.50 is broken after October 1st and wick line, so if it's after October 1st, then your two things are wick line at 77.43 and then this target, this horizontal down at 52.30, because it's not coming down here after October 1st, most likely. So your trigger, like where your brain goes in two paths upon the trigger, will be different. I'm making a guess at October 1st, but just make the line and just assume that way, because it's a pretty safe assumption. It's a pretty good, I think that's a pretty solid analysis. And so no matter what, that's your trigger, only two options. Binary code. Hopefully that was, so I didn't give you any very short-term time frame stuff, but it's really 84.50 or nothing. That's really the line to focus on. All right, there you go. Whew. Oh, man. Oh, got a lot more questions. Okay, shit, I'm far behind. Again, for anybody jumping on here, I only have time. I have enough community members now where I only have time to answer their questions in an hour and a half. And I got 4 kids. Like, I shouldn't even be doing this for an hour and a half twice a week. Like, I should be done now. So I don't have time to get to your questions. I mean, maybe if I start raising the prices and I get fewer questions, but I mean, as of now, it's about right. So during the bull market, I'll probably have to change stuff because then everybody, you know, and their sister will like, even like they'll be making YouTube tiers for like their babies as if it were life insurance. Let me lock in the questions. Like, and then I'll be on here for like 10 hours trying to answer community member questions. Right now, it's, I won't be able to get to your questions. If you're not a community member, it looks like here. All right. Cody again. Hey Tim, could you do some analysis on Solo? I did Solo. Your TA, yes. Lorenzo, yes. I have been, my TA has been fucking solid, right? As it's sometimes, you know, sometimes I have my moments where I'm off for about a week, but during those moments, I realize that I'm off and I try to let the viewers know. I don't think the markets are very certain right now. So I usually blame it on the markets, not myself, right? When I'm out of tune, it's all the markets, right? But that's probably what I'd say. That's what I've been saying. When I'm out of tune, I know I'm out of tune and I let the viewers know. But right now, I'm definitely dialed in like a mother on this market. So thank you for the feedback. I'm dialed in right now, and until I get back out of tune, we're going to keep rocking and rolling and kicking some ass and taking some names and chewing bubble gums and blowing bubbles and slapping llamas in the face and farting rainbows. So here we go. Have you done ETH? Yes, I've done ETH. So Craig, really, just a quick snapshot on ETH. I recorded it, so it'll be uploaded tonight. But ETH is tricky and it's squirrely. If Bitcoin does not go below my origin line, then ETH has permission to go as high as 1620, even on a 15-minute candle, because Bitcoin dominance is falling. When Bitcoin falls below the origin line, then that's out of play. But until Bitcoin's below the origin line, Ethereum can go up like freaking 6% when Bitcoin only goes up a half. That's about right. 5% right there. It can happen literally in 5 minutes, I'm telling you, because there's going to be a lot of liquidity from this. And this liquidity is actually made specifically from whales. So it would be other whales who didn't create this trap. It would be other whale groups taking advantage of previous whales, because these whales specifically missed a heat map. They specifically came up shy of allowing a different group. There's a lot of liquidity up here, and it came and skimmed it and didn't allow them to get into positions. So it's like the group that had the liquidity here first might then want to take out the liquidity and stops made from the first group who specifically drove down price here. So it'd almost be like whale fights. And that's why it can happen in 5 minutes. But if Bitcoin goes below that origin line, I think their algorithms, the math behind it would the risk to reward ratio would be thrown off, and they won't take that chance to try to do that. Does that make sense? So is Bitcoin right now below its origin line? Nope, it's above it. Here, look. So it's above the origin line. So Ethereum can wick right up there. So Ethereum's going to be hard to play, man. It's going to be real hard to play. I am not pissing around with Ethereum until that merge is done. But, and you need to look at Bitcoin dominance too. And this is another reason why Ethereum has permission to do that. Until this line is hit and Bitcoin is under that origin line, Ethereum has permission to do it. Here, look. And that's kind of a quick summary. Origin line of Bitcoin dominance. All right, cool. SNX, whew, man. Nostradamus, ha ha ha. All right, yeah, we'll do Matic. Okay, so I probably will be on here till 7:30. Damn it. All right. The hell is going on? Wow. Oh, because it's another group. What am I doing? Haha. You can't put a group inside of a group, Tim. There we go. I'm getting my Matic stuff ready. Hold on. All right, so you just said Matic and nothing else. No short term. So I'll just do a quick one for bear market targets, so you know roughly how low this is going to go, and on the timing. So one's November, one's February for bottoms on Bitcoin potential. And if Bitcoin doesn't bottom by then it's going to go even lower. All right, so here we go. Matic. Big picture view of Matic. I'm going to put on my Harry Potter cloak. This is target number one for a bear market target if Bitcoin could separate from traditional markets when my magic line on Nasdaq futures is hit, which I've been referring to line A. That's it. If Bitcoin could separate, and that is probably going to happen somewhere around November. If Bitcoin cannot separate, then you're easily looking at 10 cents, okay, just after the new year, after you get a tax sell-off. So just realize Matic's up at 81 cents now, all right? And if you doubt me, and if you're looking at me and you're about ready to make a comment like you're out of your mind, okay, for the recording, so not streaming people, but for the recording, click this video right freaking here. That's what people told me when I said, wait to buy Solana until it's under $30. And I said that when it was zooming up to 150, even anticipating it was getting ready to zoom up to 150. And I even said it could go up to 150 and it's still going under $30. And people thought I was crazy. So watch that video. It's only 90 seconds long, right, for the recording. That's where this Matic is going there. Doesn't matter, Disney, this and that. Doesn't matter. It's extremely likely. And am I guaranteed to be right? No. But I have a very damn high probability of being correct. That one of those two or lower will be hit in this bear market. This one's around November. This one's around February. I don't know when the market will start capitulating, but it's probably going to start heating up to the downside soon. It could be September. Yeah, it could be all September and October and November. It could be 3 months of straight blood. It could be really, really nasty here. All right, so that is long-term analysis. Okay? You might think I'm crazy, especially if you love Matic and you're holding it at a loss. It hurts for me to tell you this, I know. But just realize that I'm probably right. And if you're holding it, don't allow the bias of holding this at a 50% loss or whenever you bought it from back here. Don't allow that to misguide you. That's a strong feeling, I know. And I see it in comments, and I've been there. I was there in 2018. I held shit all the way down too. That's why I'm trying to show you, all right? All right, now we're going to zoom into this and realize that this origin line is about ready to be broken. So even though Matic has been hot, that hotness looks like it's about ready to end. All right, and it's gonna take a big poo. So let's dive into that part. I'm going to go down to the 30-minute chart, and let me see what I had on my chart prior here. I must have been looking at real small candles there. I'm going to have to go to the 1 hour chart. So by September 8th, it's extremely likely that Matic will be below 80 cents, but it might hold on. So even if Bitcoin goes down to, if Bitcoin goes to 17.5, then Matic's, then Matic's coming down to here. I mean, it's going to drop down to 65 cents. But if Bitcoin can hold on for a while, then, so it's an if-then statement. If Bitcoin doesn't tank before this date here, which is the end of the first week of September, so September 7th, September 8th, as these horizontal and this crosses. But you probably have the weekly 10, so I'm going to try to tell you what to throw on your chart. The weekly 10. So honestly, it's the weekly 10 that's horizontal. So you have three things in play right now. You have the weekly 10 EMA, which is right now resistance. So let's go down to the 3-minute candles. Look. See how price is respecting this red line? This is what the algos are playing. It's all about the weekly 10. So your main tool for knowing what Matic price, can do over the next 1 minute or hour or day, it's going to be, you're going to base that off its relationship to the weekly 10 until it separates from it. But right now it's playing with it. So throw in the weekly 10. And again, I'm on the 3-minute chart, still looking at the weekly 10 because I'm using the indicator called MTF EMA. And I have somebody who's been asking me, they can't pull up the same one. I have a VIP who's been telling me there's a better way to do it, and I will try to let YouTube know. Well, should I? Yeah, I'll let at least the YouTube tiers know about it, how to do that. And probably all of YouTube, because I keep stressing, please use it. So I have So use an MTF EMA indicator so that you can have this red line on here with very, very small candles. But just to prove to you, that's what's in play. That's your number one tool for Matic price for now. Your next big tool that you need on your chart for Matic is this horizontal right here. And I will label both the top and the bottom. Make a blue box. Actually, you can pick a color. I don't care what color you make it, but just please make your freaking box here. Make a horizontal box, roughly 796 to 789. That's your next tool, all right? You only need 3, or I'm almost done. And I promise you, if you follow these steps, you're going to get price right on Matic so hard. So freaking hard, you're going to get it right. So I will go to July. I'm going to give you coordinates. I'll make the coordinates from July 1st to current. So you're going to want to make an ascending line starting on July 1st at 0000 hours, New York time. So depending on your time zone, let's go right. So I'm doing it July 1st, 0000 New York time. The coordinates of this origin line right there at that exact moment is 563. Actually, why is this so damn small? That's not what she said. All right. All right, that was kind of funny. On that date, 563, then drag another line up to September 1st at 0000 hours New York time. So if you're in Britain doing this, then you're going to want it at 0500 hours, right? Because I think you're 5 hours ahead on September 1st, 0500 hours. But September 1st at this level here, 764. All right. And then after you get that, then you can drag it farther, right? And farther that way if you want to. Okay. Those are the 3 tools you need. And so whatever is going to happen here. So look, what's going to happen is this. It's very likely this weekly 10 continues to be as resistance and it shoves it below both the origin line and this horizontal. And that's when it accelerates to the downside. I'm telling you, that's probably exactly what's going to happen. But until then, price can really dance around and there's a lot of tradable stuff. Like prices up here, look, I mean, that's a 5% range in both directions. That's tradable. So if price in the meantime were to come down, and Bitcoin isn't going down crazy, but this comes down to this origin line that you've now drawn, hopefully. then you can realize that it's probably going to get some type of bounce. But when it does, you're going to have overhead resistance exactly at 789 and exactly at 796. And you're probably going to make a higher low as this weekly 10 comes down on it. And then once it gets trapped under the weekly 10 and price goes below this origin line and the blue line, then it's over. It's getting ready to tank. That's literally how it'll move. Save the situation where Bitcoin just dives down to 17.5. Well, then Matic will do something more like this. It'll go down, try to recover like this, and then it'll get squeezed down. Right? But if Bitcoin can hold steady until September 7th, 8th, September 7th to the 8th, roughly the first week into the second week, then what I first drew is likely how it's going to play out. And I guess technically it would have permission in that time too, before here, to actually come up and test this area. So you might throw on this one too. So if it goes as high as 87, 872, it's probably going to get rejected. Like extremely likely. Because I don't think Bitcoin's getting ready to go up. But I don't think it's going to go up that high. I think the weekly 10, it's going to stay here. And that's going to drive it down. When it falls, you don't have permission to bounce until 65 cents. It'll go straight there. And it'll actually probably go lower than 65 cents. It'll probably hit 62.5. It'll hit 624 and then bounce on top of 650 and try to make a lower high. So it'll actually probably hit this target, then get on top of 65. That's probably how it'll move. But it will move straight here once that move is initiated down. And that is your long-term time frames, mid-term, and short-term. And I gave you the 3 exact tools you need. Take the time to draw it if you're a Matic fan, because I'm telling you, it's going to help you get price right and understand what's happening at any snapshot in time, any moment of what's happening with the price. And again, for people watching the recording, not live stream people, click this video right here if you haven't watched my Bitcoin video, and if you want to check out Ethereum and why altcoin dominance is creating some hot alts to be really finicky, go ahead and click this video right here for the Ethereum chart, and we will see you next time. All right, for a streamer, I'm not done yet. That was for the recording. But I gotta wrap this up soon. I already have people tapping at a 6-year-old tapping at my window. Okay, TA's been spot. Okay, perfect. XY. Okay, S and X has been hot. I almost got my ass burned on it, but I gave a short alert at the top of its 30% run. But the alert I gave to my community, it came up just shy. Here, look. Watch. I hope my computer. If my computer crashes because I'm opening this bitch, then I'm done with the stream and I won't be back. So don't hang around if my screen. If you start seeing something in the middle of your screen that goes round and round and round, that means I'm done. All right. Let's see here. But it came up just shy of my target. Yeah, this is the most recent one. There you go. It was an informal alert because it was happening so fast, so I didn't give all the exact how to enter, when to move stops down like I typically do, and where to put stops, but because it was happening so fast. But it came up just shy. Yeah, this has been wild. Honestly, I suggest not trading this. This one is fucking. This is sorry to cuss, but I get one F word a month. Because that's what Stoner Joe and I have come up with. This coin is really difficult, but what can make it easier to some degree is this channel. So let me take off my weekly 10, zoom out to the 8-hour chart, and you might want to try making your chart look just like this. And I believe that's its all-time high. So it goes back to its all-time high of $30. Try to make a channel just like that. So this helps you. Gosh, that would have been, man. Yeah, it came up right to that. It just came up just barely shy, son of a bitch. So what can you say is likely going to happen looking at it this way? Knowing that it's obviously in this channel and it's clearly using these lines as pinball. See this? Even this one comes down where? To a line. Where does this one come down? To a line. Where does that wick come down? To a line. Where does it zoom up to? To a line. When it tanks down and does something stupid, where does it stop? At the line. When it goes on a small move up, where does it bounce from? From the point of control, up to the top of the line. Like literally these lines work. Trust me. Are they perfect? No, you can still get, I should still be connected. Well, I am still here. My computer didn't crash. I don't know why it disconnected. I'm still here. I said if you saw the circle, I'm gone, but I'm not gone. It just made me a freaking liar. I'm not really here. Let me get out of Discord. Here we go. Yeah, I need more memory in my computer. Sorry, with all these streaming programs running. Sorry for IT people. It's probably cringe for you to see me, struggle through that, and I haven't fixed it yet. But it is what it is. I'm a tech tar. I don't do tech stuff very well. I'm a chart person. So what I can see happening is higher low structure, bounce, maybe a failure pattern over this line. Maybe up to hit a horizontal, maybe as high as that. You get trapped under this next line, bounce on and you bounce on this or on the point of control. It's just going to keep respecting these lines for the most part. Throw on your weekly 10 for even more guidance. Well, there you go. So if the weekly 10 comes down, then what you might do is you might get a failure pattern above the weekly 10, which is here. And then you come down, hit the point of control, retest the weekly 10, which at that point would be coming down. So essentially what's going to happen here is it's going to find support lower and test the weekly 10. Find support lower, test the weekly 10. And that's probably what's in store. You can go above the weekly 10 just like it did here. It's going to happen. This is a hot alt. It moves violently. So it doesn't mean short with 100x leverage at the weekly 10. No, that position will be liquidated. Like literally the bots on those places, they will literally use their own money from that exchange just to go get your stop. I'm telling you, if you try to play the weekly 10 like that on high leverage, you will be liquidated. Because the exchange bots can and do target you if you're doing that kind of stuff. But use the weekly 10 as your guidance until we get a big fat move down. But right now, that's all you need are these lines plus the weekly 10. And that's all you're looking for is potential higher lows, then retest without using a line. You can do higher low structure, get rejected, failure pattern at the 10, then hit a support, then get rejected by a 10, go down lower, hit this as the weekly 10 is exactly here, double resistance and keep moving down. But yeah, this one's going to get crushed over time. It's going to hit the bottom of this channel again. It might take until November or December. It might take till way out here, but it's going to keep walking down, and it's very likely going to use it's just, every time it finds support, it's going to want to come back up and look at the weekly 10 again. Something like this. I mean, look at all this stuff over here. Find support, touch the weekly 10. Find support, touch the weekly 10. Support, they actually got above the weekly 10 there. That's how I imagine this rolling. But eventually, by November to February of next year, it's going to hit the bottom line again. So if that were to happen in, let's say, December, that's a 75% drawdown, and it's gonna hit it. I'm telling you, it will happen. This bear market, before the bear market's over, that bottom line will be hit, and it's gonna be a big boom. But it's hard to trade. This one gets hot, folks, and until Bitcoin dominance starts going up, this one's gonna be wild. All right. I think ICP is a good coin to trade. Like right now, it's my biggest position. I have a bunch of small positions just waiting for this move down. I like trading ICP. It's got it's not great, but it's very good liquidity. It's less hot than something like this. Even though this coin SNX is respecting these lines very well, it's too volatile. It does, like on a wick, it can burn you too badly, and ICP not so much. So I like trading. I'm going to continue trading ICP. ICP and Cardano are now my favorite alts to trade, especially for shorts, particularly for shorts. I like Ethereum for longs, but not right now though. Until the merge is happening, until the merge is over, Ethereum I will not be trading. But for investing, no. I think my opinion about ICP, again, this is an opinion, and I could be absolutely wrong because I'm not a fundamentalist. ICP, I think it blew its chances. It came out with an $8 billion market cap, number 9. What other one coin did that? Well, actually, maybe 2, but one coin did that at about the same time in the same cycle. What is it? Freaking Polkadot. It also came out at number 9 or number 8. Snapped itself into existence, said we're an $8 billion company. Literally just snapped itself into existence and increased the total the market cap of crypto by 8 billion with a snapping of a finger in literally no time. Like when it hit the exchanges, the value of crypto went up 8 billion instantly. Literally. Like, it's not even figurative. Literally, that's what happened. So ICP did the same thing, and it's been straight down ever since. Polkadot hasn't been looking very good either, but it's nothing like ICP. So I think it blew its chances. I think investors are going to look back on that once the bear market's over, and they're going to have to look way that way. And when they see that price chart go from way up high to way down low, they're not going to buy it. And it's not going to scream up next season. That's my guess. But that theory would have been dead wrong on Cardano. That was the other one that came out with a very large market cap. That theory was actually the reason to buy Cardano. That's why it had 135x. It's not because it was stronger than Ethereum. Those Cardano people, you're mathematically and factually incorrect. It did not outperform Ethereum, and it actually roughly tied Bitcoin. It only had a large run because it underperformed. And most of its run, most of the X's up, were to catch up from the underperforming. You can't count until you catch up. You can't count that as overperforming. You have to count that as catching up to Ethereum and make it even. And people are calling that catch up out like as a part of, no, it's not. It dropped 98.77%. Ethereum dropped 94. It had a lot of catch up to do. But if ICP, but the reason why I don't think ICP will be that Cardano, it has a chance. It has a chance to be an incredible buy, like Cardano was. But one thing Cardano had that ICP didn't is Cardano had at least a month and a half of run up. It went up straight to like $1.12, $1.02, something like that in 2017. All right, it got to a market cap of 32 billion. Okay, when it literally was a white paper with just a small team of computer geeks with nothing to show for it. Literally, they were a $32 billion company with zero revenue. Just literally YouTuber cheerleaders talking about it and duping people. But that's all crypto is besides Bitcoin and Ethereum anyway. It's just a bunch of penny stocks that are overbloated. And one day it'll pop, but I think it might not actually be a pop. It'll probably be a slow bleed over like 10 to 15 years. These are all just a bunch of fucking penny stocks, people. Like, that's literally outside of monetary coins. That's not a penny stock. Litecoin is not a penny stock. They're not sexy coins. You know, the penny stocks are the ones that YouTubers will talk about, and they'll make you a lot of money next bull run. So make money while you can. Don't hate on them just because there's shit that'll die. But yeah, you're dealing with a bunch of penny stocks. So ICP, you know, I don't think it's a great bet, but for a portion of your portfolio in a bear market, like 5%, I think it's a decent play in a bear market up to 5%. I wouldn't bet the house on it. But then again, had you bet the house on Cardano anywhere under 5 pennies in the bear market, you would have fucking done very well. You would have been potentially either retired, or you could take a 6-month to 12-month vacation, depending on how much money, you know, whatever was a lot to you then. So it is a gamble, and please, you know, it could pay off, but I personally wouldn't take that gamble. And my recommendation to you, if you take that gamble, make sure it's not a huge percentage of your portfolio, please. Just for me, okay? Don't make it a huge percentage. Hey, I got to get off of here, folks. This is going way too long. ASTR. I'll do this one quickly, but all right. Let me go to the daily chart so I can go out to November and February. So this is all you got to do. Just go to November and February, make horizontal lines. take the average slope with a rotated rectangle, something like this. Boom, boom. Put a pin on the top one, put a pin on the bottom one, and make one equal distance below. So these distances, make one equal distance even lower for a capitulatory event possibility. Boom. That is the range that I could see it in for a bear market bottom right there. And it doesn't have to happen on this line, right? This line just helps me get an understanding. So from the y-axis, the time axis, gets me an understanding of the x-axis. So it could happen here, right? But it just helps me get an understanding because it'll have a mean reversion. It'll revert back to this and then do the swoopy pattern, go up and out. So it'll still probably hit the low. So yeah, between 0.006 to 1.6 pennies. What other fast questions can I get? Referring to, okay, so sir, I skipped Sir. Okay, Sir Toast 2, I skipped you, sorry. If you haven't already covered this, I noticed your origin line shifted a lot since the Curtilian YouTube tier tutorial. Are they just raised, lowered, or have you changed the angles? No, I have not changed the angles. I have a couple sets of origin lines. I mean, if you do it the way I did in that tutorial, you're going to be okay. You're going to be very okay, actually. I think since the tutorial, I made this zone look like a point of control of the macro sense. All right. So for any new viewers, this is what origin lines look like zoomed out. There you go. So I kind of made it the point of control, but no, I think the tutorial, I had definitely not different angles. It's possible I just threw them up on, so I have 3 BTC charts and I might have done it on a different chart just slightly differently, but no, it's the way I did it in the tutorial is the way you should do it. It's going to be accurate. Because a master origin line is a master origin line. Everything's parallel from there, and all you do is run the parallel lines to humps and valleys, and that's it. So, yeah, I would use the ones from that tutorial. All right. How far down? Sorry I skipped your question. That was a good question, too. Sire Toast 2 with a C. Hey Samir, okay, I'll do your question. Thanks for the super chat. I will. Oh, man, I was getting ready to say goodbye, but good thing I scrolled down. I would have felt like shit if I missed your super chat. I'm sorry. Okay, you're welcome, Samir, for the insights. You have gotten me to want to learn more about TA. I appreciate your respect. Oh, it's not a question. Good. Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's quite a journey. It takes years. It takes a lot of yelling at your screen. It takes a lot of blaming the market for being wrong, and then the hard way realizing, you know what, it's the market isn't ever wrong. Like it's definitely me. I should have been prepared for other things. It takes a lot of emotion. It's mostly emotional, as weird as that is. So it might take so I think I have a naturally good eye for this stuff, but and honestly, my weak point has probably been my emotions. I still probably am not. I know I'm not, because I have people come to my Discord who, with, like, for example, a military background, they have emotional discipline, you know, talking as they're trading way better than I have. And they've only been doing it for 6 months. I still find myself getting excited and catching myself doing shit I know I'm not supposed to do. It's more emotional than anything, especially when you try to make money. So actually, that is the most important thing I could say, you know, to your comment, is if you're excited about TA, just realize this. Even if your TA is fantastic, you will still get smoked if you try to get rich fast from it. If your goal, so there is a huge gap. Even if you spend a year, like 10 years, let's say 10 years never trading, 10 years spending all TA, and you then make that leap let's make money from this TA. There is a gap, and that gap takes a while. So as you're taking your TA journey, once you feel, hey, you know what? I got this. Just realize your initial movement to trying to make money from TA, do not try to make a lot of money with it immediately, because you will lose everything that you put into futures from that. It will go to zero. So you might as well only use like 100 or whatever's a small amount to you. Only use $100 to start bridging that gap to make money from your TA. Because why? Because it'll go to zero. If you start with $1,000, it will also go to zero. So start with 100. And your goal is to make it go to zero as slowly as possible, aka how many trades can you get in? Doesn't matter if they're good trades, bad trades, whatever. Your goal is how many times can I open and close a trade? Okay, so I'm counting one trade. It's like taking swings. Like how many golf balls do I get, or how many in the batting cage? How many balls for $20 can I get? Right? So you are trying to get as many swings as possible out of that $100. You don't try to throw like a quarter of your portfolio into it and say, I got this. No, you don't got this. You will give the market all of your money. It is literally a guarantee. If it's your first attempt, like it's so close to a guarantee, you might as well just, even though it's almost a guarantee. It really is. And I have countless people on Discord come and tell me, either I heard you say it and I ignored you and yes, it all went to zero, or I joined, your Discord, or, I started following you because you said that, and that's exactly what just happened to me, right? Like it's almost everybody, really. It happens to everybody. It's literally everybody. So to that, as you're following me and stuff, just realize, perfect TA, you'll still get your ass whooped as you make that leap to trying to make money from it. I can't stress it enough. It will go to zero, so might as well start off with a small amount. It's that simple. All right, I got to wrap this bizatch up before I piss off my wife.